peeps, welcome to another video. Today it is what I have been making so far this year, because I have done one lookbook back in January or early February and I haven't done one since. And I actually haven't made that many things because, as you know, I've been having some issues with my health, so I haven't been sewing as prolifically as I would like. But I have made something, so I thought I would put them into one video, and here we are. So the first thing is what I'm wearing. It's the Butterick jumpsuit that I did the sew along for, which you can find here. I really like this. It was a really good use of a fairly kind of small piece of fabric that I had left from a top and a skirt that I'd made from this Lady McElroy Savannah crepe, and then the plain part is a satin back crepe from the fabric room, and this is basically my wearable muslin. I'm really happy with it. I am going to make some changes going forward to the next one though. The pattern would have you add length to the torso, which I do need to do, to the midriff panel, which is fine, but I need to add an inch of length, and I think it would be better if I added the inch of length to this panel rather than the midriff panel. So I'm going to take it out of this bit and put it into this bit, and I just think that will give a slightly better proportion on me. I'm also considering having a belt made of this satin back crepe from Harlequin, which is where I get all my belts made. They are amazing, because I think that might look quite nice on this as well. This is quite a fancy outfit. I wear a lot of my jumpsuits out during the day, the rayon jumpsuits that I've made. I wear them out during summer days quite happily, not thinking that they're too dressy, but this one to me does feel quite dressy, and I haven't worn it to an event as yet, but I can see myself wearing this to a dinner or possibly out on a date. I have started dating again. But yeah, I'm very happy with this one, and I just love the combination of colours. I mean, I love this fabric so much, you guys know, that I've even made a handbag out of it. Yes, I have matching outfit and handbag. This is the Sewn bag from Sewn Patterns, and this was the bag that I taught at the sewing retreat that I held in May. It is covered in fluff from my cardigan, because of course it is, my cardigan covers everything in fluff, and it is the Savannah print on the, I want to say it's a cotton drill, and it has some spandex in it, so this actually would be, I've bought enough of this to make jeans with as well, or at least tight trousers, because it does have that kind of twill effect. Then I have also used a green leather from Pittards, and the hardware is from Emmeline bags, and I went for rose gold or copper, and I absolutely love this. This is my everyday bag. I had made one that was very similar to this previously, which my niece now has. That was kind of my wearable muslin before I used my fancy fabrics, because I'd used faux leather and stuff for that one. But yeah, absolutely love this, and I'm planning on making a matching penny in to go with it, but that was one of the things that I made in the last 5 months. And whilst we're talking about bags, I also started my drafting journey into making a laptop bag. So this is the very first prototype, and it is definitely not perfect, but it was what I needed at the time, because I was going up to London to the knitting and stitching show, so I needed to take my laptop with me, and I didn't have anything to put my laptop in, so I wanted something that was nice and padded, which this is, that would fit it perfectly, and that had a strap that I could then wear over my shoulder. So this is iteration number 1, and like I say, it's definitely not perfect, but it is beautiful. I used the same type of fabric as I used for the Sewn bag, so it is the Lady McElroy cotton drill with some stretch in it, and again I have enough of this to make trousers out of as well, and then some batiks that my mum let me steal from her stash, and the sew-in foam that I got from Minerva Crafts, and faux green leather that I have quite a lot of because I'm going to be making some luggage with it as well, and again hardware from Emmeline bags. I really like this and do use this as is, but I am planning on kind of tweaking the pattern a little bit, because at the moment I can't carry the adapter and charger for my laptop in this, because it's just laptop size, and the charger, the plug is obviously that sort of size. I have some ideas to tweak this to make this into a completely laptop friendly bag that will carry the cords, the plug, and the laptop itself, as well as my notebooks and things that I always like to travel with, because despite the fact that I have online apps that I can write notes with, I'd much prefer to do that by hand. So yes, I made this too, and this is iteration number 1 of what hopefully will be a pattern that I will be releasing to the world soon-ish. Whilst I'm talking about bags, I also made 9 NCWs over the last 5 months, which have been Patreon rewards and a few that have been purchased. I've been getting a lot of emails asking if they are available to purchase, and at the moment they're not. But if you send me an email and with what you would like, and I can let you know when they will be available for purchase again and put you on the pre-order list if you would like them and if you don't mind waiting. But at the moment the wait list is about 2.5 months. I love making NCWs. I am very much looking forward to getting onto the penny ins though, because it will be nice to do something and make something that's a bit different. And yeah, speaking of, I have lots of penny ins to get on with, so that's something I'll be doing later on today. The only other thing that I don't have to show you that I have completed is a wedding dress, and I don't have any worn photos of that yet because they aren't 100% sure when they're getting married, but the bride picked it up and absolutely loved it, and has assured me that she will send me photos when they actually do get married so that I can share that all with you guys. But that was an absolute pleasure to make, and I think you've seen some sneaky peeks of it if you've been watching the vlogs. That's another piece of clothing that I have made over the last couple of months. Right, quick change and I shall be back. Next up we have the Butterick 6018. I think I've got that right, and again there is a sew along for this one, and the reason that my hair is down in the twirls that you're seeing is because I filmed them ages ago for the sew alongs, so I am reusing that footage. I really love this dress, and this dress is actually incredibly comfortable because it is made of a stretch suiting that I got from the textile centre. I have made quite a lot of tweaks to this pattern. The pattern itself has a side zipper which I loathe, so I've moved that round to the back, but I have made it so that the zipper starts about 3 inches down from the neckline because it's a built-up neckline and I didn't want the zip to go all the way to the top and interfere with that. I have also taken out the centre front seam, which has kind of reduced the little curvy bit that we have here at the very centre front, but not enough that I am worried about it, and it also means that I didn't have to put the buttons down here to conceal that centre front seam. I think when I make the second iteration, which is the one with the lapels that fold back, I will actually keep the centre front seam and put the buttons on because I really like the look of that. But for this one I've just fancied given that it's a very plain fabric, which is very unlike me, as you will all be very aware, I decided not to put any extra embellishments on it. This is a really pretty dress. I really like the pattern. I think I will be using the pattern again. I haven't worn this one as yet. This is a polyester based fabric, and I've not had an occasion where it's going to have been cool enough to wear it or yet warm enough so I don't freeze, that happy kind of in-betweeny place. But I do really like it. I love the skirt on this. The amount of flare that this skirt has is immense, so I'm really pleased with this one, and I can see myself making the other version with the collar back, and I can imagine myself making some more of this style neckline as well because I think it's really pretty. So I'm very pleased with this one. Another quick change. You probably can't see what I'm wearing now, but it is a beautiful 3/4 circle skirt from a velvet type fabric that I got from the Knitting and Stitching show, I think 2 years ago now. It was from one of those stores like M. Rosenberg and Son that have just bolts and bolts and bolts of stuff everywhere, and it was, I think it's called Lily or something along those lines, but they had this fabric and I really liked the print, and so I went over and as you do, as anyone I think does, I went over and I touched it, and oh my goodness, as I say, it feels like velvet. This is so lovely. I made this in time for the Knitting and Stitching show this year because I remember I wore this to go and see Brian Cox live at the Birmingham Arena, which was immense. And I styled it then with a top very similar to this but in grey. This is a top from Next, but the Jennifer Lauren Gable t-shirt is very similar to this. And I styled it with the grey version I have of this because I'm one of those people, if I find something that I like and it fits me, I buy it in every colour available. But yes, I styled it with grey, then my tan cardigan and tan boots and a grey belt with it. And I think I even had my grey boots, my grey over the knee boots on. But whatever I was wearing, I felt very fancy in it, and it's a very comfortable skirt to wear. It is quite heavy, so it's not something that I would want to be wearing in summer, but I am literally sitting here stroking my lap because it just feels so amazing. And it was one of those things when I saw the fabric and then felt the fabric, and I was just immediately knew what it was going to be. I think in fact most of the fabrics I have in my stash, I know exactly what I want to make with all of them. They are fully formed outfits in my head. I do that when I'm having trouble going to sleep. I will sit there and replay over in my head the fabrics that I have and the things that I want to make with them. And so I have this amazingly, I mean, I have an amazingly huge wardrobe now anyway, but I have this amazingly huge wardrobe in my head. I just need the time and the inclination to get them all done. But my sojo is coming back, which is amazing. So yes, this skirt is a definite success. I really like the 3/4 circle skirt silhouette, and I have done a sew along or tutorial for that up here. There's many of those today, isn't there? It took me a while to figure out how to get the measurements that I wanted, but once I'd done it, it was like, oh god, that was so obvious. Why did that take you so long? But yeah, I'm very pleased that I persevered, and if you don't want to have to do all the maths, it's up there. So yes, I really like this. I really like this, and I can see myself making this type of skirt again and adding it onto lots of my favorite bodices as well, because as lovely as the very full circle skirts are, they are very fabric hungry, and this takes one less panel of fabric, so it gives me a little bit more to play with for print placement for bodices and things like that. At least that's how it works in my head. After this one, I have one more outfit to show you, and it is a good one. So I'm gonna get changed. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have on the Ralph pink cropped bolero style jacket, which I have wanted to make for the longest time. I've had that pattern for well over 5 years now, and unfortunately it's not available. It's one of his ones that he's discontinued, but he is re-releasing them slowly. So if you would like it, go and message him, and you never know, it might become available. But it was only released in one size, which is a size 10, which fits me just. I wouldn't want to wear this thing all night. It's a little tight around the arms here. The other thing is that I kind of feel like a panto dame in it, and I said this before, and for my American followers, you're not going to know what that means. It's a character in a pantomime, which is a thing that goes on at a play that goes on at Christmas, which is a kind of like a fairy tale hero rescues the girl type of play. It's just it's a Christmas tradition in the UK, and the panto dame is usually played by a man, and she usually has the most elaborate and over-the-top costumes, and yeah, this feels like one of those. So I'm going to take the jacket off so I can talk about the rest of the dress, because the dress itself was a massive success, as much as this jacket wasn't quite what I envisioned for myself. So I'm going to get this off and talk about the dress. This is the Gertie Night and Day dress bodice with the little notch that she did on one of her Butterick dresses, and I was going to just do the Butterick dress, but I would have had to have done a full bust adjustment on that one, and with the Night and Day dress there's cup sizes already done for you, which worked really well, because I do think this fits me very well around the bust area, and I really like this little notch, which was really easy to do, and I like the square neckline a lot. This fabric is a lurex brocade, and it was incredibly kindly gifted to me by Minerva Crafts at least 2 years ago for my Dressmaker's ball dress. Unfortunately, the Dressmaker's ball didn't happen last year, but it did happen this year, and I got to make my dress for it, and I am in love. Minerva Crafts incredibly kindly sent me 10 meters of this fabric, and it is just beautiful. They don't have any more of this exact print in stock, but they had this print in orange and green, which were both beautiful, and then they also have a whole variety of this lurex brocade with realistic digital prints on it. So I'm going to list those down below. So for the skirt portion of this, I made it's not quite a maxi because it does just come above my ankles, but I didn't want to have a floor length gown because I knew that I wouldn't have time to create a petticoat for it, and I didn't have enough of the organza that I bought for a petticoat that would really work for this. So instead of that, I actually lined the entirety of this dress with calico, which has given this fabric, which was quite lightweight, a lot of body and stiffness, which meant that I didn't need a petticoat underneath it because it kind of sticks out by itself. And this is a double circle skirt, so there is an awful lot of fabric. I have enough fabric left from this and the jacket that you've just seen to make a necessary clutch wallet to go with it, which I probably will do at some point. But other than that, oh, and I had a belt made by Harlequin, which I think you can just about see here. But other than that, there's no fabric left out of 10 meters. This thing was a hungry beast. and I have finished off all of the edges of the inside of my skirt with bias binding, and I actually ran out of this Cadbury purple, so I used lilac for the bottom, but I don't mind that. I think that looks quite nice. And as you can see, this kind of thing sort of like nearly stands up by itself. So yeah, this skirt has a lot of body and a lot of twirling potential. I had so much fun at the Dressmaker's ball. I didn't dance, unfortunately. My energy levels were not up to dancing, but I so much enjoyed watching everybody else dancing, and it was so lovely to see all the different outfits that people had made, and just the imagination and creativity of a group of collective sewers. What would one of those be? We need to come up with a name for that, don't we? But yeah, it was an amazing night. I believe they're going to be doing the Dressmaker's ball biannually, so it's going to be every other year, which is okay. I can live with that. I mean, I already know exactly what I want to make for my next dress, so I have plenty of time to get ready for that. But if they could make it yearly, it would be wonderful, but I understand that that's not really going to happen. I love this dress so much. It is incredibly heavy. It's heavy to hold. When you have it on, it's fine, but when you're like holding it, getting it out off the hanger or out of the wardrobe, it is one of those things that's just like, whoa, how is this so heavy? But yeah, it's fine to wear. It wasn't a problem to wear it at all. I'm very happy with it. I think the only thing I might change is that I had lengthened the bodice, and I have actually put a waistband on this because I wanted to put in a waist stay as well to help with the weight of the skirt, which I have done. I probably could take another ½ inch off of the length of the torso of this dress, maybe even possibly from here actually, just the straps, take like ½ inch out of that, but that would involve a fair amount of unpicking and resewing, which is not something that I enjoy, as any of you know. I much rather make something from scratch than do alterations. I am going to try and attempt to get the photo that from above with the skirt all spread out on the floor, so I'm going to see how that goes. It may not look good, so you may not see it, but fingers crossed it did, and I will have inserted it here, but or it might even be the thumbnail. I love this dress. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I love the colours, and I love the flowers, and it's so me, and it matches perfectly with my Louis Vuitton heels. So, you know, it was a brilliant outfit, and I had a wonderful evening in it. So that is it. As I say, I haven't sewn that much over the last 5 months, and I have been really struggling with that. I miss my sewing machine. I miss being as prolific as I am, because whilst I've not been sewing, I've still been buying all of the fabric, and I'm going to be doing a kind of June-July plans video coming up next. And if you've watched the vlogs, you know I've been buying all of the fabric, so yeah, I need to get my sewing back into the same gear as my fabric buying is in, although I have promised that I'm not going to buy any more fabric for the next 2 months, and I haven't bought any in June so far. I've had fabric delivered that I ordered in May, but I haven't bought any new fabric in June, and there are a few that have sorely tempted me, especially this border print from Minerva Crafts by John Caldor. Oh my goodness, it's on back order for a month, and if it's still available in August, I will be buying some, because that thing is glorious and I know exactly what I want to make out of it. So yes, anyway, I digress. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the few things that I have made over the last 5 months. If you have, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon.